Okay, here's our rocket stove design here. This here is the vertical. It's going to be 47 inches, and the horizontal, not quite sure yet. And we're going to make it out of an 8-inch pipe here, as you can see. We're going to cut that up with a torch and make a vertical here for the feed unit here, and then another one to connect the horizontal and the vertical together. Here we about have our horizontal piece cut. Okay, here's the J2 welded together. Right now it's only currently tacked. I'm just going to do a test run and see how it burns. So I'm new to rocket stove, so this should be interesting. Okay folks, here's the rocket stove in action. I'm pretty impressed. I've got some oil in there, and as you can see there's some smoke coming from the oil that landed on the pipe, and there's a little bit of smoke coming out that way, but you can see the little pieces of cardboard floating out the exhaust, but no smoke. So I'm very happy with it so far. I'm going to take it back apart. As you can see, it's just tacked together. I'm going to take it back apart, add a nice 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch layer of clay and perlite to kind of keep the pipe from oxidizing not so fast. And yeah, so far so good. Here's the inside of the pipe here. I put a thin layer of clay. I'll probably go and put another layer on after this one's dried, and I'm hoping that will help preserve the pipe from oxidization, so we'll see. Okay, right here I'm welding up the 90-degree the horizontal to the vertical, and I tried putting clay inside of it, and as you can see, it wasn't such a great idea. I should have used some type of something to make it stick better, but clay does not really work well inside these pipes. So yeah, I just took it out of there. Good waste of a good hour, and just going to keep on welding. Here's the J tube with a 1/4 inch of masonry perlite and fire clay at the beginning of the bench, and the blockwork that will go up to the barrel. I used a recipe that I'll put down in the notes. It's roughly 75% perlite and 20% fire clay with some straw mixed in for extra strength. I realized the best consistency was where it would condense when you squeeze your hand around the mixture instead of just squeezing out of your hand. Okay, here's the finished result, folks. I put a ash box on here, and it's got 2 spots for a wing nut, just like that one's got a wing nut on there. And so it's got a clean out door and an ash box. And I'll go ahead and open it up. You can see it needs to be dumped, but saves me a lot of time not having to clean out the ash near as often. I'd say it's probably about once a week as it is right now. Close that thing. The door is hot to touch, so I'm not going to demonstrate that, but fire is going pretty well. It sometimes smokes out. I put a T on the smokestack, which has helped, but I think that mostly it's my fault. The brickwork here is I used the fire clay and perlite and a little bit of just regular mortar for concrete, or something like concrete, and it doesn't quite work like I like it. It just doesn't take the heat. It shrinks, it cracks, and if there's a lot of smoke, you can see smoke come out. So I went ahead and bit the bullet, and I got me a $30 pail of this here, furnace, cement, and fireplace mortar. So I'll redo that eventually, add some in. Here's the bench. It's filled with sand. It's got nice red tile there, and it still needs some work, and you still need to cut some down to size. The cement blocks, 2 cement blocks high, and it's warm. It does a nice job. The barrel has a deal to take off so you can get in and clean it. However, I had ended up having to seal it with some fire clay all around that rim from the inside and outside, which added a significant amount of weight, but it stopped the smoke, so it works. And got a pretty nice stack of wood sitting here, oak, and yeah, it does a lot better than the old stove. And while I should mention that I do need to put another layer of insulation in. That is my downfall. And when it's warm outside, it seems like it turns to steam. But with it being cold out like it is now, it doesn't turn to steam. It's too much smoke. So right now I've only got a 1/4 inch of insulation perlite on here in fire clay. And it does sometimes change into steam, but I need another, I'd say about 1 inch of insulation right now. I barely have a 1/4, so I think that should do it. And there she is, not doing too great, but good enough. I'm happy.